So earlier this month I released my first video game, Dungeon Camp, on Steam and itch.io. One of my biggest goals with Dungeon Camp was to make a game I was proud of, but also a game that makes people smile when they play it. Over the course of development, I've let friends and family play my game. Seeing them laugh and smile while they're playing has given me the biggest sense of joy and achievement, more than any other part of this process, really. It doesn't matter how many units I sell, it doesn't matter how successful it goes. That's what it's all about. Having friends try and figure out my game and how it works and passing the controller around, trying to beat different levels was the most rewarding part of this process, for sure. Now let's talk about how the game is selling. It's not. And that's okay. This is my first game, and nobody knows who I am yet. I'm still finding my voice on social media. Dungeon Camp's released on Steam and itch.io as of December 12th, and has sold very few units as of the recording of this video, about 2 weeks post-release. But that's okay. Dungeon Camp's the game that I wanted to use to prove to myself that I can learn the skills needed to make and release video games. While I'm proud of the game I made, I'm even more proud of teaching myself what I need to know to make games I've always wanted to and share them with the world. I don't have a background in games or software development for very long. I used to be a theater teacher. I worked in insurance sales for a while, and I kind of switched careers to try to teach myself to do web development, and that didn't go my way, and I kind of realized that I was lying to myself saying I wanted to make websites when in reality I wanted to make games, because as soon as I learned how to make websites and code, I started making games on the side and took a lot more interest in my game projects than I did in my web projects. So when the job search for web development wasn't going well, I made the switch and started making games full time. And that's when I started making Dungeon Camp full time, and that was about 3 months ago. Everything to do with making Dungeon Camp was a brand new skill set for me. I learned a new code language, I learned a new game engine, I learned how to use a synthesizer to make music and sound effects. Learned how to do pixel art. It was all very new, and all the business, like marketing side of running a game studio, as well as social media. I have never really been big on posting on social media or creating content in my personal life, so when I made a TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube account and started posting every day or twice a day as we got closer to release, it was very new for me. I've never been in the public eye quite like that, and I've never recorded my voice and edited videos like that before, so every step along the way has been just new to me, and it's been a really humbling experience, but also a very exciting experience at the same time. Now, because everything was so new and I didn't really have that great of a plan, a lot of this was just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. I didn't have any design documents for Dungeon Camp, I didn't have a content schedule for my social media, and I really didn't even know what the story of the game was going to be until it was almost finished. I think it's a great game, but at times it was definitely me just winging it to learn how to do all this for the first time. I learned a lot, I made a lot of mistakes, and I got a great game out of it. I want to take this part of the video to just give a gigantic thank you to everyone who supported Dungeon Camp up to this point. Thanks to my friends and family and fellow game devs for all the support and encouragement throughout. Thanks to all my playtesters for suffering through many bugs and frantic last-minute fixes. Thanks to my audience on all platforms for engaging and supporting the release of my first game. And thank you for everyone who's purchased the game. The reality of making a game that more than one person is willing to spend their hard-earned money to play is mind-boggling, and I still haven't begun to process it, even in the slightest. So thank you. So what's next for Pincushion Games? I spent a lot of time thinking about what I want my next move to be. I've got some large, longer-term projects in mind, as well as some other ideas for Dungeon Camp, but I don't really want to set up another large project right now. I want to learn more, hone my skills, figure out more about myself as a game dev and my process. I've made one 2D pixel art platformer with a unique respawn mechanic that I just whipped out. There's so many other ideas and genres and styles out there I want to try. I've got a ton of great and ridiculous game ideas in my back pocket that I'd love to share with you all. I also want to engage with you all more and get your feedback and opinions on what I'm making. I meant to do this more with the Dungeon Camp, but I designed the game as I went, so I struggled to keep up with sharing updates and engaging with you guys, and frankly, I just didn't know how to a lot more. But I've learned a little bit from those mistakes, and I also want to develop a better creative process for making games that's my own and works with how my brain does. Essentially, I don't want to spend the next 6 months working on another game just to fall into the same pitfalls I did with Dungeon Camp. So in 2026, I've decided that I'll be developing and releasing a new game every month. This will push me to experiment with new ideas, grow and reflect on myself as a developer and artist, as well as push me to engage with you guys on a more personal level. I'll be sharing game ideas, progress updates, and the occasional travel update as I still travel full time. So stay tuned to see what I'm working on and where I'm working on it. I'll be launching these games on Pincushion Games itch.io at the end of each month. Got that linked in the video description below. Thank you again to everyone who supported my journey up to this point, and I can't wait to share more with you all as I try to make more games that make people smile when they play them. Well, I'll see you down the road.